Okay, so hey everyone, I have a haul for you, coming at you a little less of a mess as my first video, but yeah, this haul, like I said before, is over 100 books, and I'll probably have to do it in a few videos, but I should preface it with a few things. One, I think of books kind of a different way. I don't expect to read every book here in full. I really enjoy having a small library to draw from if I need inspiration. I also tutor, and yeah. Like recently I was writing a personal essay about a medical problem, and I remember Joan Didion wrote a essay about migraines, and I was able to find it in the White Album. It's called In Bed. It's really great. But yeah, I like having a library to draw from and having a lot of options, even though sometimes it can be overwhelming. Two, most hauls won't be this way. I hope I never have another haul over 100 books. Three, I get heavily discounted books. I would say 95% of these books were $2 or less, 85 $1 or less, and about 60 to 75% were 50 cents or less. So I get heavily discounted books, mainly because I work for an online bookseller. Hauls are kind of problematic for me, but I figured I'd give this a try since, I don't know. Let's see. So hopefully the light cooperates because it is raining outside. In fact, let me pull this up a little more, even though... Okay, so let's start with this stack here. Part of the reason why I want to do this haul right away, and I'm probably going to film it all in one go and then cut it up, is because the books are everywhere, and I kind of wanted to do the haul before I put them all away, because then it would be hard to find them. The only reason I'm ashamed of this haul is because I don't have enough room for these books, but I'm going to try to figure it out. So the first book is Suzan-Lori Parks' Getting Mother's Body. Suzan-Lori Parks is a great black female writer and playwright. I forgot the name of them, but Red was in the title. I think they're the Red Plays or something like that, and I read those and I enjoyed those, so I'm glad I found this. It's an ex-library copy, but I could deal with that. The next book I was very excited for, especially since it was so cheap. This is Dennis Johnson's Train Dreams. Dennis Johnson is a great writer. To me, he writes too much drug narratives, like too many drug narratives. I don't love that, but occasionally he hits it out of the park. One of my favorite stories of all time is Emergency, written by him. Drugs play a role in that too, but it's really great and I would highly recommend it. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this. It's very short, so I should get done with it quick. This is a blind buy. I don't have a lot of blind buys, as I said, but I really love the show Sherlock. I don't know. It's awesome. And I haven't read a lot of Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock. I've read some of it, but not a lot. But basically I saw Mycroft and I had to get it. The next book I got was Love in the Time of Cholera. It's a classic, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Part of the reason I got this is because I want to finish studying Spanish, and I thought I could read this in English and then read it again in Spanish, and hopefully that would help. The next book is another classic, Remains of the Day by Ishiguro. I own two other Ishiguro books, Never Let Me Go and Nocturnes, And yeah, I still haven't read on any of them. But I figured I'd start with this. Even though Nocturnes sounds more interesting, maybe I'll do Nocturnes, I don't know. The next book I got was Culture and Imperialism by Edward W. Said. Most people know Said from his connection to... He criticizes imperialism in literature like Heart of Darkness and Kim. He wrote the book Orientalism, which is his more popular book, and I've read excerpts from it, and I'm excited to read excerpts from this, even though I probably won't get through all of it. But yeah, and Toni Morrison wrote a blurb for it, so that's great. My book, this book is one, this is shameful. I don't know if I own this. I should probably check because it's right over there. It would be right over there, but I don't know. Michael Chabon won a Pulitzer Prize, and I don't put a lot of stock in prizes, but I don't think I think I've read short stories from him, but I figure, this is the Yiddish Policemen's Union, I figure I'd give this a try. And if I have it already, I will give away probably donate the copy that's less clean. The next book I got was Colin McCann's, okay, this title is hard for me, Fishing the Slow Black River. I did okay. I've read a fair amount of Irish poetry because I took an Irish poetry class in college and I kind of continued afterwards, but I haven't read a lot of Irish fiction, and I thought this was a good start because I've read a lot of good stuff about him. The next book I got was The Collected Stories of Eudora Welty. I've heard of Eudora Welty, but I don't know much about her, and I figured this was a good start. Another ex-library copy, but I'm not mad. Okay. Let me put these here. Oh god, oh god. Okay. So the next book I got was Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Yeah, it's a classic that I haven't read. I've read some Virginia Woolf and it was in good condition, so I thought it's necessary. This book I was really excited about. I paid $2 for this, which is expensive for me. And it's Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. I've wanted to read more Neil Gaiman. All I've read is his short stories, and I loved them, and BookTube seems to be a buzz with Neil Gaiman. So I figured I'd give this a try. It is a children's book, which, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll love, but, I don't know. George Saunders wrote a children's book and it was awesome, so you never know. The next book is the one I'm reading right now. It's dog-eared because I feel like taking care of books sometimes, and I've been reading this for a while. I think it's because I read this after I read quite a big book and I was kind of burnt out, but I love this. I'm probably 60% done with it. This is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. I'm a big fan of Margaret Atwood. I've read some of her short stories. I've read some of The Edible Woman, but I don't know, something happened and I didn't finish it. I didn't dislike it. And I've read The Handmaid's Tale, and I love The Handmaid's Tale. It was my favorite book growing up. What I love about this book is there's lots of cultural references. That's why mine is all like messed up like this. Well, not messed up, but has tabs, because some cultural references I'm not as familiar with, and I like learning while reading fiction. The next book I got was Bill Warrington's Last Chance. This was definitely a blind buy, and I don't know if I'm going to keep it. The blurbs are from Sue Grafton and Sue Monk Kidd, and I don't know whether it's good or not, but I put a lot of stock in blurbs, and I really do not like Sue Monk Kidd, and Sue Grafton is I don't think I've read a full book of hers, but I hated The Secret Life of Bees, especially as a black woman. The next book I got is Countdown, a novel by Deborah Willis. I don't know a lot about this, but it looks great. The dust cover is upside down. Way to go, Anita. But I generally love any book that's multimedia, so excited to read that. I'll probably read that soon. The next 3 books are books that I kind of collect. I still read, but I collect them. I collect Best American Short Stories, Best American Non-Required Reading, Best American Essays. These are 3 copies. This is 2003, this is 2001, and this is 2005. I don't know how many I have, but I have a fair amount of Best American Essays. And I generally really enjoy, like usually collections like this are highly political, and occasionally you get like really horrible essays or short stories or something in a collection because someone knew somebody or something like that, but this has a really good track record. In 2005 features Susan Orlean as an editor, and I'm a big fan of Susan Orlean. She wrote The Orchid Thief, which was adapted into adaptation, and Adaptation is a great movie, and The Orchid Thief was a great book. My camera just cut out for no reason. I'm annoyed. But anyway, this is Racine's Phèdre. I like Dover editions because they're simple, to the point, cheap, and they're usually short works, so they're less intimidating, because sometimes classics, because they really only publish classics, not Catholics, they really only publish classics, and classics could sometimes be intimidating, and having, you know, a little book to expose you to great canonical works is usually my bag. This book I was really excited about too, mainly because I didn't know Ethan Coen wrote books. Ethan Coen is one half of the Coen brothers, who are great directors. They directed No Country for Old Men, Miller's Crossing, a lot of great things. And this is a book by him called Gates of Eden, so I'm excited to read it. That'll probably be read soon. This is T.S. Eliot's Selected Poems. This is another one where I have to check my collection. I might have all of the poems in here in other collections. In that case, I'll be donating it. Another book I got is Writers on Writing. It's a Barnes & Noble collection, I'm pretty sure. No, it's a New York Times book collection. And I write. I enjoy reading about writers, talking about their craft. One great book is, I can't remember the name, but Kurt Vonnegut did a really short interview with someone, and it's mainly about writing, and I really enjoyed it. If I find the title, I will put it in the doobly-doo. Okay. More books.